play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, it's going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the f*** out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-starter.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die. 15 seconds, don't die.
Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, there's a... Sorry,
So, jetzt gleich hinter die Indie-Pockens,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrels. Why are our strikes up?
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin!
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite ziehen, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung, Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums, ein Light, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line. C4 Tactical Hill, boys. Fox.
Laufe unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left. Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta. Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this. Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Golf. I got him.
Okay, go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your mediums, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow. God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Hello everybody out there. You are watching something a little bit new to my streams. This is the MRBC pre-match roundtable. We are going to try this out on the last match of the season here, see how it goes, see if we can get some some good conversation out there, and we are actually live. This is not a 5-minute delay, so I welcome you guys out there watching us. Get involved, put your opinion out there in chat. Let's see what you guys have to say. I am Bandit B17 from the Marine Mechs. With me, I have MDM0, who's my typical co-streamer, also from the Marine Mechs. How you doing?
Doing well, hanging in there.
Awesome. We have Gman 129 from SJR with us.
Hello.
Doyle, who is the Lord and Master of MRBC, the administrator on Hive, who is in 9th Sanguine Tigers. How you doing, Doyle?
Dude, I'm British. That title was nowhere near long enough, but thank you. I'm good.
And then we've got Krizzman from 122nd Fire Force Infantry, one of the newcomers to MRBC this season.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So tonight we got a pretty good match. So we thought it was kind of a good idea to get a little bit of a pre-start here. We've got tonight Seraphim Rising Storm versus 228 for the number 1 spot in Division A Season 6. This is the Week 4 match, but they pushed it off to Week 6, which works great for us because we can kind of showcase it and everything. Should be a very good matchup. 2 extremely good teams, going for all the marbles pretty much. So that'll be coming up in about, I'd say, 15 minutes or so, and we will be cutting into that. I will have to set up the 5-minute delay at that time, so we will have a moment of the stream being offline while it queues up and everything, and then we'll get right into the match. All right, well, how's it going, guys? We had a very interesting season. We had a couple changes to the rule set and everything like that. Some people liked, some didn't. We had our first experience with some 6-team divisions. What did you guys think about that? I know from our standpoint in the Marine Mechs, we ended up in Division A, which was a little bit of a surprise, and but we did our best and stuff. And I think it was very interesting being able to play a lot more teams than normal. But it is interesting only playing essentially one side of the map in each of those matches.
Yeah, I mean the difference with the 6s and the 4 divisions is. My personal preference is divisions of 4 because it keeps the season short and it allows every team to play each other twice, so there's no imbalance in the maps, because say you played from the strong map position in game 1, then you know you're playing the opposite side in game 2, and I think that system is the fairest possible. However, because you get so many teams now entering, we have a lot of divisions. We would just end up with ridiculous number of divisions if we kept NA teams of 4. So we decided to experiment with 6 teams per division this season, just to see how it went, see how the feedback goes, and listen to what people say about it, whether they thought it was good having more in their division, or whether they felt that they ended up being the little fish in the big pond and didn't have as much fun. And we do very much value feedback. It's been a big part since season 1 of MRBC. We do try to listen to what people say. We don't always agree with every opinion, but we always discuss it amongst the admins, and we do try different things. And obviously one of the things this season was taking away that scratch damage rule, which I think was encouraging a very negative style of play in favour of bringing in something that gives a more positive, more aggressive style, in that if you draw, it's real bad for your score. In fact, you take a penalty. So that was done to try to encourage people to engage more. I don't think we're done tweaking the system. I mean, obviously we've seen some feedback along the way during the season. We're going to see a lot more. Frost has opened a thread up on the MRBC website, so there's a forum to give us feedback about season 6. So if you've got an opinion, you've got something to say, get on there, let us know what you thought, let us know what you think might be better, let us know what you thought was good as well. That's always nice to hear. But we're not done tweaking this. It's always been changing every season as we try to come up with, the impossible task of having a perfect system for competitiveness. I think we're getting closer than we've been before, but I do sometimes think, damn, it would be really good if we had a game mode that specifically suited us. So one thing on my mind is I'd at least like to talk to PGI and suggest some game mode ideas that might help the comp scene a bit, but we'll see. Long way
Absolutely.
off, probably.
Absolutely, and definitely got to encourage all you guys that are playing MRBC currently. Definitely get into that thread. Let your voice be heard, because if you don't say anything, or if you just kind of grumble to yourself, nobody's going to hear that, and we're not going to be able to make changes, positive changes, to make this season 7 better than ever, essentially. So
rest assured, we do read it and we do discuss it at length, at great length.
Excellent. So Krizzman, new to MRBC. This is the first season for Fire Force Infantry. And so you didn't get to really experience any of the other rule sets or anything like that. How did you think that the season went for you guys?
Well, for us, I feel, I don't know, it went pretty smoothly for us. Barely, we took the first place and all, which was fantastic for us. But overall, more so than the rules themselves, which, I mean, taking the draw, for instance, wasn't that good, as you were saying. It was, we were trying to aim for first place, of course. So we were always trying to go for the win, playing a little bit more aggressive, more so than sort of sitting back with the long range that you will see in the higher tiers, so to say. So, and of course, in lower divisions as well, you'd see a lot of brawling more than your trading. We played a lot of medium to medium close range kind of trading, which I feel gave us the upper edge when competing against this our own division. Since we ended up scrimming against, I think, 2 teams from Division C, and we also scrimmed against Seraphim, which again I thank them a lot, Seraphim and Rising Storm. It was really, really helpful for us, that particular scrim. So we learned a lot from those scrims before, and I feel like having that knowledge helped us quite a bit. But I don't know, I can't really compare it to the other seasons. I barely watch a few matches here and there for previous seasons. So my main kind of irk that I had was purely just a sort of little fuck up we had on our part. Someone dropped a strike on one of our matches, and we discussed it with the other team, and we sent the referee a ticket. We never got a response from the other team, and it ended up being a draw. So that's sort of like just little things. It was we took the hit for the 50,000 C-bills, which could have been, we ended up being, I think, an 8-0 win for us, and we took a 50,000 loss instead. But as you were saying, I really do agree that it needs to be there needs to be more incentive when playing. Like, you cannot not make it you sit back, and a lot of teams were playing the draw game. We used that card in our last match against Southern Cross Alliance because we knew they had to come to us for the win. That's sort of like a strategic thing you can do as well. So we played that card. They had more long range than we did. They played into our range, and we ended up winning that drop. So overall, I'm really happy with how the season went for us, particularly. It was pretty entertaining, I feel, for everyone here and our team. So I'm looking forward to
So how as a new team, how did you think the rules were? I mean, was it overcomplicated, or did you find it pretty easy to learn the rules and get prepared for the season and things like that? Did you find yourself making any mistakes, or did you have a good system in place to catch all your drop decks and make sure everything was good?
Well, we have Fango Red as my co-team leader. He's really into spreadsheets, which I feel is something you end up needing at all times for this kind of competitive stuff. We had our spreadsheets, as you said, I think, in the last broadcast. We had them all set up. We had the rules there as well, and I had, of course, before every match, I would have the MRBC webpage open to double check the rules, because they're not that overwhelming, but it's really easy to make a little mistake, like put an extra mech that you didn't account for, a duplicate that you missed. Because
did you guys see the quick drop reference in the top left corner of the MRBC site? Because we hoped that putting that in would make it a lot less daunting for new teams to just go, right, is our deck right? Check the quick drop reference. Yep. Oh shit, we fucked up.
Yeah, that helped quite a bit.
Awesome. I was hoping it would be visible enough for new teams, and as a new team, it's important to know whether you could actually find that or not.
Yeah, no, it was pretty visceral. Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I want to kind of jump in there with what Kriz is saying. Earlier in that, I heard you saying that kind of the low tier focused on, especially in competitive scene, you see a lot of brawl, and then kind of you get more into the range. I think, and one of the ways that we've been lucky in the Marine Mechs is really we started off as a complete unknown. We were in our season 3. We started off in Division E for North American, and then we moved up to Division C, B, and then now this season in A. And it really is interesting. I agree with that 100%. I mean, we saw in Div E and Div C, we saw mostly brawl decks and very prominent brawl decks. Now, that being said, the game has changed and shifted as time has gone on, but it is something that I think, at least from scoutcasting some of these matches, holds true. And it's interesting to see how kind of in these newer teams start off with the brawl, and then as they progress up through the divisions, which is one of my favorite things personally about MRBC, is that when you can go up and down in these divisions, you're not really thrown into the pot with everyone. You're thrown in with people that should be about your skill level. But that's definitely something I think that holds true, is that you tend to see more range, although we've seen some pretty darn good brawls coming out of Division A, B, some of these top tier teams that get in there and mix it up. But it's definitely a good point. And the other thing I kind of want to bring up, just when we get the chance, is with these divisions, and again, I really like how MRBC does it, where if you win your division, typically you get the opportunity to move up to the next one. If you lose, a lot of times you might get bumped down. Trying to find where every team belongs in that division, I think Doyle and company, his underlings, have done a fantastic job of balancing, and I feel
not my underlings, my equals.
His equals underneath him did a fantastic job of balancing these divisions. We really, looking at the tables and from the matches that Bandit has shoutcasted, some of which I've been fortunate enough to join him on. These are really, really close teams. Not really a lot of divisions, and there's always some, but not a lot of divisions where a team has just run away with the lead, and kind of by week 3 or whatever, you say, oh, they've won, they can coast.
I think a great example is Division B was close from top to bottom. Everybody in that division definitely belonged to be there, and that was just a fantastic. Just how many 2-3 decisions happened in that division was fantastic.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we aim for here. We want to try and make things as equal as we can. Obviously, it's completely impossible to get it absolutely 100% right every season, but a lot of discussion, a lot of effort, a lot of thought goes into trying to balance those divisions, as well as where to put new teams that come in. New teams, they don't always start from the very bottom. Obviously, Fire Force, they started from the bottom of NA. They've had that experience because they were pretty much an unknown to us. Whereas there were other teams in Europe, for example, Battle Magic Mercenary Unit. They're currently sitting top of EU Division B, and they were a team that's new to the league, and we put them straight in at a higher level because we think they just would have stomped everybody down below. And it seems to have been the right decision. They look like they'll probably get promoted into Division A, and they've done really well. But we knew that they had players on their roster that were of a certain caliber that allowed us to make that decision. And really, we tried to get as much information as possible between seasons on the teams that are signed up and where they belong. We talked to other unit leaders. We don't just sort it out between the admins. I think, if I remember correctly, Bandit, you might have been one of the guys we ran one of our provisional division ideas off against.
Yep.
I think you got to see one of our early ones, and then a team pulled out and we had to rebalance.
I mean, even that first one was fantastic too. I mean, I felt like there was a little bit that some teams got into Div A that probably could have spent another season in Div B and stuff like that. But even still, after that all happened, just it was very, very balanced for the most part across the board. Maybe not from top to bottom in a division, but we saw a lot of really good top 3 matches and stuff like that. And and it was definitely very good.
I think it's harder to do with divisions of 6 because you've got more teams to consider, and there's always going to be a couple of teams in a division of 6 that are weaker. It was definitely easier to do with the 4 per division, but we've given it a try for this season, and we're looking forward to the feedback off having those bigger divisions from the NA side. Obviously, Europe we kept as 4 teams per division, except for Division C because we had an overflow of teams. So we are interested in hearing the feedback from the NA side on how that went.
And definitely, make sure you guys toss that into the forums and stuff like that. So, Gman, we've been kind of stealing the show here for a little bit. What do you think on, upcoming game balance, things like that? What can we look forward to as we move into the next season? Because it seems like the game's going to be doing a lot of growing and changing between now and when the next season starts.
Yeah, the most recent PTS is supposed to go live before the next season starts, and it's kind of hard to predict exactly what's going to happen, but it definitely does look like the meta is going to be shifting towards more of the short-range stuff. But that's already something that we've been seeing, honestly, is that there's been a lot more diverse builds that we've been seeing in these games, like the medium short-range mechs at like 300 to 400 meters and that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's going to get bigger. There's going to be a lot more SRMs. If you've been on the PTS, you might have noticed that they've been a lot tighter and easier to use, and it's just the sort of thing that we're gonna see something very different. Though I for one do still think that the clan mechs are going to be superior, but I really like that we've been seeing a more diverse meta, as well as the gaps between teams, like you guys have been saying, those have been closing as well. It's just really good for the game, I feel. Do
you feel like time to kill is going to increase with some of the changes, like the skill tree getting nerfed and things like that? Are we going to see a lot more drawn out battle? Am I going to lose my voice because I have to be yelling for like an extra 3 minutes per fight, basically?
Yeah, I mean, that's all going to be really hard to say, because while there have been some durability increases and stuff like that, but there's also been some changes in terms of, well, we might be getting brawls, but brawls typically go a lot faster than the medium range fights, like once they start, that is.
True.
So it's going to be hard to say. I do honestly doubt that time to kill is going to go way up. It might go up a little bit, but in the comp scene, it's probably going to be similar, although it might be more intense. Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that for the comp scene in terms of the viewers, not considering the positives or negatives for the teams actually playing, but for the viewers, those brawls get pretty exciting. I know I wasn't supposed to bring this up because B-Man asked us not to, but I'm going to talk about an SJR match earlier in MRBC this season, in which, don't worry, SJR won this round. But it was the SGR versus Antares Scorpions match for Div A this season. We had Drop 5, which ultimately wound up having to be a redrop, but there was just a beautiful brawl where we had Antares Scorpions on Forest Colony bringing their assault mechs up over a hill straight into a line of SJR's assault mechs, and just kind of a good old, kind of a battleship, ship of the line sort of engagement, just broadsides into the assault mechs and things. And it's just, from a shoutcasting perspective, I think I'll definitely kind of enjoy that if the meta shifts a little more towards Brawl, and I hope that the viewers enjoy that as well, because I think it's fun to watch. I mean, ultimately, I think when most people think of Mech Warrior and Battle Mechs and what they kind of imagine the game to be, it's those 100-ton atlases with the stand-up, knock them out, sort of just guns blazing fights.
Definitely try to preserve that that aspect of Mech Warrior within the league, in that the way we designed Drop 1 and 2, and credit to Frost Pendragon because he did a lot of the work on the initial rules, and we've just adapted from his original ideas mainly. But Drops 1 and 2 being very light have remained quite traditionally brawly. We've seen this season some teams taking longer range stuff even in Drop 1. It has happened, but still a lot of teams playing that close to mid-range. And again with drop 2, because you've got the mechs, you haven't got a slow assault that's going to drag you down and keep you slow. You've got the speed to engage at a closer range. And I've seen some powerful play out of teams using mid-range style with, example like Gauss and Clan medium lasers, things like that, Inner Sphere, large lasers. Those kind of weapons have seen a lot of use. And then as you get heavier, obviously you see things extend in range where that becomes more powerful because moving is less prevalent and you've got a more static style of play. But again, you can watch drops. Not every team plays standoffish, long range static in the heavier drops. I've seen teams winning games by being quite mobile, still taking long range weaponry, but moving around the map and using the angles to undo the enemy team's defense. And there's often a situation where one team will decide they're the weaker team and they want to sit and camp and play defensive because they don't feel they'll win if they play more aggressively, and that really puts the onus on the aggressor, on the stronger team, to actually come at them and find a way of cracking that turtle. Some teams fail at it. A lot of teams have actually succeeded at it. And I mean, just the last game my team played, we decided to play quite defensively on 2 of our drops, and on both of those drops we ended up losing to a team that aggressively pushed us. And I thought that was really interesting to see that is still possible.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, it's really just a matter of who performs the best when you get to the match, and I think movement is always something that, at least in the popular discussions of MechWarrior, is underappreciated as to how important it is in the success or failure of a drop, and especially in competitive play.
Yeah, and
I
just
agree.
Quick, by the way, if you want to see some games that really this talk reminded me of, I think it was 228th versus Notorious Scorpions matches were just fantastic in terms of the mobility, the various strategies and builds and stuff like that. Just wanted to...
Absolutely. I wish I had shoutcasted that one, and definitely trying to get into as many matches as possible. I might double down on that next season. I've enjoyed shoutcasting Season 6. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure MD can attest to that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thanks, bro. But I am looking forward to continuing working in Season 7. Definitely looking for feedback and stuff like that, and we'll see if we can make it a much better show. And we might do a little bit more of the pre-match show and things like that to get the ball rolling and everything like that. But we do have a match tonight, unfortunately, because I could talk all night long. So we are going to look at taking a break here. There will be a 5-minute delay with dead air, essentially, while the stream queues up and then we get going. So don't disappear. The match is coming shortly. 5-minute delay. Last note, I guess, Doyle, did you have anything else that you wanted to touch on? Anything for...
Yeah, actually, I just want to take the opportunity to thank PGI because they don't have to support any of the comp scene, and this season, for us at least, they entered the goddamn league. I mean, that is huge. Granted, we've all seen them get their asses handed to them over and over, but as a bunch of guys that aren't competitive, that was always going to be the case. Even in the lower divisions, people have got their shit together and know how to play and how to move and how to drop core, how to build decks. But props to them for entering, because that was fantastic to see. It definitely brought the league some attention, and the biggest thanks really is for getting the prizes sorted. I mean, we've had prize codes to give out on all the live streams which Bandit and MD have been doing, which has been fantastic. And obviously the big one is the division winners this season get to choose a mech that they get for free from PGI. There are some restrictions on that. For example, you're not allowed to pick a mech that's currently part of a package that's not released, things like that. But hero mechs are actually eligible, so you could pick a hero mech if you wanted. But I think that's just huge of them to do that, because I did say to them in the early discussions that we've got a lot of divisions. There's going to be a lot of winners, and each one of those has got a lot of guys on their roster that they're going to use during the season. That's a lot of prizes. Are you sure about this? And they said, yep, we'll do it. So really, a big thanks to them. not just from me, but I think from the guys that are going to win stuff need to appreciate how huge a deal that was for PGI to give that much stuff away. And I think it's awesome, and I hope they continue. We might not see them enter again because they got work to do. They were just trying things out, see how it felt. But I hope they continue to support us with prize codes and publicity, because I think that's a big part of the success of this game, is keeping a healthy competitive scene alive where people are really enjoying the game. I don't know about the rest of you lot, but I don't play this game for the pug matches. I play this game for the comp scene, and I love the comp scene. I love how it plays out. I love the work you put into it, the planning, the preparation, and the matches. And I especially have been loving this season the casting. It's the thing that I felt we've been missing for the previous seasons. I've always tried to get it off the ground, and this season you guys have done a fantastic job. So thanks to you guys, Bandit, MD, and all the other guys that co-casted with Bandit, and thanks to PGI for the prizes.
Absolutely. All right. If anybody doesn't have anything else to add, it looks to me like SRS and 228 are getting set up in the lobbies, so we're going to switch over to that, and we will see you guys in 5 minutes. Thank you to MD, Gman, Doyle, Krizzman for all coming in and joining this roundtable. Next time we're gonna have a lot more time, I think, to talk about stuff, because I feel like we could go at it for forever. So next time we'll definitely buy a little bit more time ahead of time. But thanks again for you guys taking time out of your day to come and talk and get us started on this fantastic match that we're about to head into. So thanks a lot, and we will see all you viewers in 5 minutes for Sarah from Rising Storm versus 228.
Shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the call there if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the